Sophia. I'd like to welcome you all to AMD's press conference at Computex 2014. Every year at this time, AMD has some latest updates, exciting announcements, and leading technologies to share with every one of you. This morning, we will hear from our top executives about all these exciting informations. We're also very happy to be joined by Colette LaForce, our Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer, and also John Bird, Senior Vice President and Chief Sales Officer with us today. Please clap hands, and thank you for joining us this morning. We're very happy, and also we're looking forward to demonstrating how AMD is enabling today and inspiring tomorrow with our leading innovative technologies and products. But most important of all, we're very happy to have you here with us from all over the world. So now, to get things started, let's wait no more. Please join me and welcome Spencer Pan, our AMD Corporate Vice President and Managing Director for Greater China, to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, and media friends and AMD partners, good morning. And on behalf of AMD Greater China, I welcome everyone to take time to join the AMD press conference today in Kaveri Computex. Yesterday, I was attending the opening ceremony of Computex, and a few amazing data convinced me quite a lot. I think everybody knows this is the 34 years Kaveri hosts Computex. And also this year, and we have roughly the 1,700 vendors confirmed to come here, and around 5,000 booths has been set up in the exhibition hall. And almost 130,000 people from all the world registered to join this event, including the most important buyers from all the world, such as the Best Buy, etc. So, with that fact, this is a really, really amazing event. And the Taipei Computex has already become the #2, the biggest technology and computer show in the world. And after CES, and absolutely the #1 in the Asia Pacific. So, and as a leading player in the semiconductor industry, AMD absolutely values Taipei Computex quite a lot. And we know that is a significant impact to us, to everybody. So that's the only reason why every year AMD brings the most innovation products to come here to share with you and the world at the very first time. So today, similar to the past years, and as Sophia mentioned, we are very honored to invite a lot of the top executives from AMD to give everybody a great update. I'm sure everyone here can learn more through their presentation in the next 1 hour. So now, with my greatest pleasure, I will invite our Dr. Lisa Su, Senior Vice President and the General Manager from Global Business Unit, and to give us the latest update on AMD innovative, inspiring technologies. Welcome, Lisa.
Good morning, 大家好. It's wonderful to be here in Taipei. AMD loves Taipei and AMD loves Computex. On behalf of John, Colette, and all of us at AMD, we're so happy to be able to spend this morning with you to share a little bit about our strategy, our company, and of course, our very exciting products. So I'm going to start for a few minutes today and talk to you about what we see in the market and what we see happening and really the trends for the future. So if you really start by saying, here in Computex, we're here with all of our friends, our partners, our customers, as well as all of the impressive media. It's really all about the innovation for the next 10 years. And what's driving all of that innovation? It's really several things. The first is the consumer. All of us as consumers are using our information, our data, our devices, every time, all the time, every place, in all data formats. And it's driving incredible explosion of devices, which is a very important driver for our industry. The second piece, and I'm going to talk more about this, is the expanding view of the market. And it's really what's happening in the data center and what's happening in the embedded markets and all of the different devices that we can use our technology in. And finally, the most important thing from an AMD standpoint is we are here to provide technology for our customers. How do we enable our customers to be the most successful, the most innovative, and the most capable going forward? So these are the three areas from an AMD standpoint that are driving our market perspective. Now, when you talk about innovation, AMD is all about innovation. We absolutely want to drive the most advanced technology going forward. And it's really innovation in three key areas. The first one is in computing horsepower. We absolutely realize that whether you're in consumer devices, or you're in embedded devices, or you're in server devices, it's all about how do we get more computing horsepower at lower power and higher efficiency for our capability. The second, you'll see beautiful graphics displays all through our display here, and it's about graphics and visualization and how do we process all of that content going forward. This is a second key trend. And then the third point is all about how do we bridge our ecosystem. The ecosystem is hardware ecosystem, software ecosystem, here in Taiwan, a very rich ODM ecosystem, OEM ecosystem, and really bringing all of those together to get the best product at the best price at the best time. That's really how we view innovation going forward. So a little bit about AMD. We have been changing as a company. We are a different company than we were several years ago. If you looked at AMD in 2012, over 90% of our business was in the PC business. And it was a very important and growing business, definitely for all of us in the ecosystem. As you look forward, in addition to the PC market, there's so many places that you can innovate. And if you just walk the halls of Computex here in Taipei, you can see so many applications. You're talking about graphics, you're talking about visualization, whether you're talking about data center, embedded, as well as ultra-low power devices. So from an AMD strategy standpoint, you're going to see our technology in numerous applications as we go forward. In terms of our core markets, you'll see many new systems from every OEM here at Computex on our new products. You will see the highest performance graphics capability here, and you will also see a lot of new growth for our company. And I'm very excited to show you some of those applications. And as we move forward, you'll see that in 2013, our revenue was about 30% in new markets and 70% in the PC market. And by the time we get to 2015, we think that the technology will actually be 50-50, both within the PC market as well as in new growth markets. This is the changing nature of the technology and what we're doing at AMD. So, 2014 has already been a great year. A great year. And when you think about what's important to us, it really is about leadership technology. Starting first with our Radeon graphics brand. We love graphics. Our goal in life is to be #1 share in graphics. And we really have tremendous momentum. This year we launched the Radeon R9 295x2, the fastest graphics card in the planet. Very proud of it. We also launched the Mantle API. Mantle is a software API that allows us to really program to the metal with gaming. More importantly, the ecosystem has adopted Mantle. So we have the gaming engines, we have game developers, as well as the games actually developed with Mantle. You're going to see some very exciting demos of that later in today's press conference. We also have the world's first 4K laptop over there with our partner Toshiba, who's really demonstrated the capability of mobile graphics. And our commitment is truly to the ecosystem, partnering on hardware and software with the game developers to really put together a very strong capability. So when you think about AMD, think about leadership graphics as very important to us. And then when you move over to the compute side, we are extremely proud of our Kaveri APU. Our Kaveri APU, and you'll see many demos of it today during this press conference, is really the most advanced APU in the industry. And what you'll see is that this category we pioneered. Okay, AMD was the first in the industry to come out with APUs. We made very good progress in the first few years, shipping over 80 million APUs. By the end of this year, we will have doubled that, and we'll have over 150 million. In another year or two, we will double that again, and that's the momentum of the APU. And when you think about the APU, you should think about it across all applications, and that is different when you think about AMD. Starting first, if you look at applications, look at the game consoles. We have our Sony PlayStation 4, our Microsoft Xbox One. We're also in the Wii U systems. We have 100% share in the new game consoles. This is the power of our graphics and our APU technology. When you look at other applications, thin clients and tablets, these are also excellent applications for APUs. When you go forward and look at embedded, we're going to talk to you about embedded applications. And you look at the range of applications that AMD's graphics and APUs are in, going from machine vision to casino gaming to digital signage. You can see just a range of applications where our embedded graphics and APUs can go. And then, of course, the server business. The server business, again, lots of innovation happening in the data center between servers, communications, and networking. These are all applications for AMD APUs. And this is where we see the growth for our technology going forward. Now, with that, it's also very important to say that we are always here at Computex to talk about the news. And we have a very, very exciting set of product announcements today in 3 of our key businesses. You're going to hear about our newest client chips from Kevin Lensing, talking to you about what we're doing in mobile and what we're doing extending our professional line. You're going to hear from Scott Ayler in Embedded, who's going to talk about our range of new devices in embedded APUs and CPUs. And then you're going to hear from David Cummings on what we're doing in the graphics, professional graphics, and server space. So, very exciting morning in front of us. With that, let me bring up Kevin Lensing. Kevin?
Thanks, Lisa. Wow, what a privilege to be here in front of all of you today, and an honor to be able to present AMD's latest client products to you. It's always exciting to be at Computex. It's extra exciting if you have something cool to announce, and we do today. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to start with what's already been explaining and recapping what's already been a very full year of products from client at AMD. We've got a lot of momentum, and we're building on it here at Computex. At the beginning of the year, actually around the CES timeframe, we introduced Kaveri into the desktop market. And Kaveri is a very important product all the way around. We led with it into desktop to show our commitment to that market and to show what a true performance APU can do for a desktop machine. We've had great momentum, great success. The press have received it wonderfully, and we see the desktop momentum picking up through the first half of the year. Then a little bit later, continuing on that theme of making sure we're driving great support for the desktop channel, especially the DIY community that AMD has such a great heritage of supporting, we launched the AM1 platform. This is really innovative because we took our low power APUs and we made it into a socketed format that made it very easy and upgradable for the DIY market. So this was a really innovative piece of technology and allows us to take the APU and penetrate that entry to mainstream desktop market in a brand new way that's differentiated. And then finally, just a couple of months ago, at the end of April, we announced the Beema and Mullins products for mobile devices. So this is the 3rd generation of our low power devices. This is a market that AMD made. When we launched the Brazos family of APUs that you may remember from a few years ago, we remade that entry to mainstream segment. We took the power down, we gave a better experience, we added to the graphics, and we really recreated that segment of the market. And now we're here to say we're not done. And we delivered Beema and Mullins, which doubled the performance per watt generationally while staying in the same architecture. So very friendly to our partners and our customers to be able to transition, but still this tremendous uplift of 2x performance per watt. We've seen huge momentum. The ramp is actually going great. Let me show you a product here from Lenovo that's a great example of what we've done with Beema and Mullins. Here's a great multi-mode device that has a 300-degree hinge. And what Lenovo's done is they use Beema to take this kind of two-in-one and take it to aggressive price points, really make it accessible to the end user in a great form factor and a great design. So Beema is here now, it's launched, it's in market, and this is just one of the great designs that we have in our portfolio with Beema. So that's the past. What's today? So today it's my great privilege to announce for the first time the Kaveri mobile products. So this is following on to the momentum of the Kaveri launch into desktop, and now we've taken that product and we've optimized it for mobile. This is a very important product for AMD along multiple dimensions. First of all, it's a real revolution in how we develop and engineer an APU. Why is it a revolution? Because for the first time ever, we're coupling the CPU and GPU cores together through our HSA hardware technology to create a more seamless interaction so that you can use the GPU for more than just 3D. It's wonderful for gaming, but it can also be used for compute. And Kaveri Signal is the very first product with HSA hardware to help seed that ecosystem of compute and build it out over the next few years. So it's great to have this product in hand, to seed that development, and to show you some of the first applications that are accelerated by this revolutionary architecture. Because of that architecture, we're able to deliver more compute performance than has ever been seen in a mobile device. We have over 800 gigaflops of single precision floating point operations in this device, and that makes it really an amazing amount of capability in a low-power device to do things that you used to need a big desktop PC to do. Now with Kaveri, you can do it in your mobile devices. And of course, all of that technology would be meaningless if you don't deliver experiences to end users. So we've been developing with our ISV partners and our internal teams great software applications that sit on top of this powerful hardware to really help deliver that wonderful experience to the end user. Rather than me talking too much about it, let's roll a video that's going to show you some of the great capabilities of Kaveri. That might have been a little bit unexpected. You might have seen a little badge with the FX brand on it. So it's a very important inflection point for the mobile business at AMD. We're taking our FX brand, which stands for the best of the best that AMD has to offer. It's been a mainstay in our desktop marketplace for many years. We now have it's the right time with the right product, with the right level of performance to introduce that enthusiast brand into the mobile segment. So FX is going mobile this year with Kaveri. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to partner with some of our key partners to deliver real performance mobile. This is an HP 15-inch Envy system. This is going to be one of the first to launch with our FX brand in mobile. And what you can do with FX is take this fantastic gaming experience, and because of the capability of AMD, sorry, HP, now you can take your photos. Because of the capability of this FX APU, you can now get a fantastic gaming and compute experience at an ultimate level in a low-power device with Kaveri. So this is just one of many designs you're going to see with FX going forward. Don't publish the ones with HP upside down. Okay, so it's one thing to say we've got a part and it's performance oriented, but we really need to back it up with performance. So here you can see our Kaveri FX low voltage product, head-to-head versus a low voltage Core i7 from Intel. And what's awesome about what we're doing with FX is across a whole suite of benchmarks, from system-level benchmarks like PC Mark. Of course, we're going to win on graphics, and then we're going to win on compute as well. So across the board of all these major benchmarks, we actually go toe-to-toe, and in many cases outperform Core i7. So this is an important step for AMD as we take the APU up that price stack and into new segments to offer our OEMs the opportunity to take AMD to higher price points, higher performance, go toe-to-toe and win versus Core i7. So benchmarks are fun and interesting, but it's a lot more fun to see a live demo. So what I'm going to show you now is a Mantle accelerated game. This is called Star Swarm from Oxide, and hopefully you'll be able to see here in a side-by-side way the performance of FX versus Core i7. So what you're looking at here is the Intel system, and it's rendering spaceships. It's rendering at this point over 2,000 spaceships. You can see the frames per second. And now if we bring in AMD, look at the striking difference in what we can deliver with FX compared to Core i7. So this is a pretty powerful rendering system here. You're rendering almost 5,000 objects at one time, and you're still almost hitting 30 frames per second. Let's look at it side by side. Look at the dramatic difference in the experience between this Mantle-enabled game with Kaveri FX and what you can get with Core i7. So whether you look at benchmarks, real games, real applications, we have a winning product with Mobile FX. So now let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about the trends in the commercial space. So as we've been looking closely at what's going on in commercial, we see a fairly radical change in the types of workloads, the types of systems that people use in their business environment. On the left, you see a representation of what I'll call yesterday's world in the commercial segment. It's a very flat world, a very 2D world, spreadsheet-centric, mainly Microsoft Office suite, some Excel work, and the devices were fairly large. And commercial tends to run a little bit behind the consumer segment in terms of their adoption of the latest and most cutting-edge form factors. But now, as you move forward into today's devices, we see that changing. We see, first of all, the commercial devices, and I'll show you one of them in a moment, are getting aggressive in their form factors and really, really attractive because toe-to-toe with consumer devices in terms of portability and style. We also see that the workloads that matter are changing, and frankly, those workloads are coming to the APU. What do I mean by that? Those workloads are moving from a flat 2D environment to an immersive 3D environment. Whether you're talking about video conferencing with multi-points and really great graphics, or you talk about the fact that the work we do is increasingly 3D, is increasingly about rendering and visualizing. We're visual people. We want to visualize our work just like we visualize our play. Because of all those trends, now is the right time for AMD to bring out a dedicated professional line of products. So with Kaveri, for the first time in the mobile space, we introduced the AMD Pro Series. These products are specially designed and optimized for the commercial value proposition. The AMD Pro line has 3 incremental value propositions to differentiate it from our standard consumer line. The first one is performance. At any point in the AMD brand stack, an AMD Pro product will outperform a consumer product. We feel this is important to give the commercial guys, the guys who really are seeking a long product that they could run for many years, give them the ability to be comfortable that their product is future-proof by being high performance. And then, maybe 2 things that aren't quite as obvious to many of us who don't spend our time in the commercial environment every day, longevity and stability. What are these about? This is about making it easy to do business with AMD if you're an IT person or if you're in the business workplace. And What you want is you want a product that you can count on a steady supply for a long period of time. Much longer than you see in a standard consumer device. So for our Pro line, we deliver additional longevity compared to our consumer products. And then stability, what does that mean? That means that the software stack that we deliver with the AMD Pro line, we commit to not changing it. Because if you're an IT manager in a large business, you don't want to be deploying new drivers, new BIOS, and constantly having to manage that software stack. So what we say is, we'll give you more performance, we'll give you better longevity, and we'll keep a stable software image. And that together brings the AMD Pro value prop. Once again, branding and having a new product lineup is one thing, but can you back it up with performance? So here's one example of how we're backing up our AMD Pro products with the performance we need to win. Here I'm showing a different version of PC Mark. This one is the work version. So this is the portion of the PC Mark benchmark that actually is made for commercial environments. So AMD goes toe-to-toe with our competitor here too. An A10 beats an i5 on PC Mark 8 work. So that tells our partners and all of the commercial IT managers that you don't have to worry, you get great performance with AMD. So I'm also proud to say with that new Pro product line, this time I'll hold it the right direction, we're seeing a higher rate of adoption and design wins of AMD commercial products. This is an HP EliteBook, and this is actually a fantastic time for AMD. It's the first time there's been an AMD product in the Elite series at HP. And that's really based on the performance, the capability, the future-proofing, and everything we bring with the AMD Pro lineup has led our partners to bet with us on AMD Pro. So you can see it's a beautiful design, slim, low voltage, long battery life. We couldn't be more thrilled to be part of this lineup with HP. Once again, benchmarks are interesting, but really visualizing the AMD advantage is even better. So what I'm going to do now is show you a different application. This time, I'm going to show you Photoshop. So Photoshop is obviously a very important application for creative types, and we see that in the workplace, content creation is one of the key workloads. So we've worked with Adobe to implement OpenCL for some of the key filters that are applied to sharpen pictures. This is called Smart Sharpen. What you saw briefly there was a side-by-side with AMD Pro versus Intel Core i7. And you see we finished the Smart Sharpen filter in 12 seconds. The nice thing about Intel is you can start to sharpen a photo, you can go get a cup of coffee, and you can be confident that nothing is going to happen while you're gone. So you can see I won't waste anyone's time waiting on it to complete, but multiple X times faster. And that's the power of compute, that's the power of OpenCL to deliver this acceleration for modern workloads for the best that we have to offer for our commercial or consumer markets. So I'm about finished. I just want to reiterate here how proud we are of having the ability to launch this device and to symbolize our growth in the APU, as Lisa mentioned. And now we're penetrating more premium segments with FX. Now we're attacking the commercial segment with Pro. Our partners have lined up with us. We'll be ramping into the back half of the year, and you'll see announcements really from all of the major OEMs. So this is a list of our biggest partners that are supporting us with our entire mobile lineup. And we're really excited to watch these products hit the market and see them sell and be a great success. So with that, I'm going to wrap, and I'm going to invite Scott Ayler, the GM of our embedded team, to come join me on stage. Scott?
Well, thanks, and great to be here. Good morning to all of you, and again, welcome to AMD's Computex. We actually, it's my first time to be here at AMD, and it's a great opportunity to give you a little bit of an idea about what we're doing and the product announcements that we have here for AMD and embedded. But before we kind of get into the product announcements, I wanted you to think back. I wanted you to think back to the trip. Many of you traveled from far away to come to this venue. When you think about the diversity and the number of embedded applications that you touched along the way, It's quite amazing. So you probably, along your way to the airport, you probably saw a vehicle navigation system that was either built into your car or a portable GPS. When you got your boarding pass to board the flight here, you probably leveraged a kiosk. You might have had to change the gate, so you worked with a gate agent that was leveraging thin client. When you put your bags through the security operator had two multiple high-definition displays that were kind of operating their X-ray. You might have checked the status of your flight on a digital signage display. When you boarded the plane, you probably looked in the cockpit and saw 9 different displays that the pilots were actually looking to make sure that the plane was ready to take off. You might have even watched a movie on a rear seat entertainment solution on your way to the event. This represents kind of the embedded opportunity that we see here at AMD. The rich visualization that's going on in the embedded market plays absolutely to our strengths. But herein lies the challenge, right? The embedded market is highly fragmented and diverse. I actually use the joke that embedded is an 8-letter word that stands for 800,000 different things. Therein lies the opportunity and challenge. So how do we at AMD go about addressing this tremendous opportunity? Well, what we're doing is we're choosing to focus. We're focusing on markets where we think that our rich visualization history, our strong compute performance, and technology will allow our customers to innovate and provide system-level value in their end applications. So we've chosen 6 vertical markets to focus on at this point. So really kind of building on what Kevin and Lisa talked about is we've been at the forefront of innovating around computing for a long time. So let's talk a little about the market context associated with Bald Eagle and the R-Series. In the different markets that we play in, this part is really quite revolutionary. When you think about what it can do in the factory, if you think about the factory of yesteryear, it was all about buttons, lights, switches, dials, and knobs. Today, it's about rich interactive displays, touch, compute, where factories now are becoming autonomous. They have the ability to run themselves. When you think about some of the other segments, like casino gaming, we actually chose to launch this device at G2E in Macau because of the transformation that's going on in casino gaming. It's around the rich interactive displays that you have, as well as kind of a very engaging visual experience. Talking about digital signage, which actually are some of the demos that we have here today, digital signage is undergoing a very significant transformation. In addition to kind of the ultra-high definition movement, it's not just about the number of displays you provide, it's also about interactive signage. Signage that you can walk up to and it recognizes, are you a man or a woman? Are you big or little? What are your buying preferences? Where should you be directed in the store? This is the type of technology leveraging HSA for compute that will enable that next generation of digital signage experience. We then talk about what we're announcing here today. We're talking about the next evolution of our G-Series SoC and CPU devices, the Step Eagle and Crown Eagle devices. So a little bit about those. So first, let's take a step back to last year. We launched the industry's first quad-core x86 SoC into the market last year. Very successful device called Kaveri, launched into the embedded space. Built on our 28nm technology, built on our great foundations of core leadership and graphics leadership, and really the first of a kind as it relates to a single chip SoC. We then, given the very strong market demand that we saw from Kaveri, have now evolved that into 2 unique products. And what we're presenting to you today here for the very first time at Computex is our new G-Series SoC and CPU that generate over 50% more performance than the prior generation. It's also worth noting that they're pin compatible. And the reason why this is really relevant and important in the embedded space is people design for longevity in embedded. All the devices that we're sharing with you here from a CPU and SoC perspective have 10-year longevity. That means that when a customer chooses AMD to go into their embedded application, they can know that we're going to be their partner 10 years from now when they need longevity and supply performance. That pin compatibility means that the systems that they built can continue their life longer with more performance and at lower power. A couple of other kind of technology innovations that are worth noting is security in embedded applications is extremely important. These devices make themselves into all sorts of different systems, and you'll see some demos of that here today. But these devices go into many different environments where there's not exactly kind of control. So security is very important. So actually what we're bringing out with the Step Eagle and Crown Eagle is we're bringing out our first device with our platform security coprocessor built on trust-zone architecture. This means that our customers can innovate and ensure that their applications are in a secure and trusted environment. The last point that's very important in the embedded space is what we call configurable TDP. So many different embedded applications are actually in very harsh, ruggedized environments where you can't have fans, you can't have advanced cooling scenarios. So configurable TDP is essentially the ability that a customer or an application developer of ours can go program the device to operate at a given power level. The device then self-optimizes and runs at maximum performance that doesn't exceed that power level. It makes thermal devices and thermal design much simpler to implement and very robust. Think of this as your fire and forget solution. You set the threshold that you want to operate, the device manages itself. Where do we see the G series SoC playing and CPU playing quite strongly? So I talked about in my opening a little bit around kind of the point of sale, where we see that kind of kiosks are kind of becoming prolific, where we see that it's not just also kind of about a very simple experience, it's about a rich interactive experience. Thin client. Thin client is an exploding market for us in terms of our growth in thin client. The reason why is people want a very rich, visual, powerful experience in thin client, but they want the total cost of ownership benefit associated with the thin client. They want the security, they want the stability of the software images. So G series SoC, the Step Eagle is a great fit for that. We also, after we launched eKaveri last year, saw a tremendous uptake as it relates to the communications and infrastructure segment. We saw that more people were adopting eKaveri and control plane applications than any other AMD processor ever before. And so that's a big part of what was the impetus around our crown jewel device. So, statistics, back to the points that kind of Kevin was highlighting. It's all about the data and the proof. So when you look at kind of from a relative performance per dollar perspective compared to the competition, we actually dominate. A very substantial uplift over and above the nearest competitor. The other thing is this power efficiency that I talked about. Power and form factor is incredibly important in embedded. And this device, the Step Eagle and Crown Eagle, give us the capability to go into all sorts of different fanless designs that are very important in the embedded space. So I talked a little bit about kind of the applications. One of the other interesting things is there's actually many different embedded applications that have no visualization. A great example of that is in communications and network. There's no screen. There's nothing to see. And this is actually where we see a lot of the initial eKaveri deployments that we're so excited about warranted that we needed to bring a CPU-only device to be able to serve those applications. This is actually an application that you see quite often, given the fact that we have such a strong presence and our focus in the microserver market and data center. We actually see that we have a very strong play as it relates to control plane into things like a top-of-rack data center switch. So it's really that market demand that we saw starting last year that caused us to really consider bringing out a CPU-only device for things like networking and communications. So it's really a great time to be here in Embedded. Embedded is about long relationships. Embedded is about deep partnerships. And we're really excited about the technology that we can bring forward that enables us to transform our next generation customers' embedded experiences. So with that, I'm really excited to bring my colleague up here. I'd like to invite David Cummings, who's our General Manager of our Professional Graphics business. David?
Well, thanks, Scott, and good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here to talk to you about AMD FirePro Professional Graphics. I'm really excited about the momentum that we're seeing with FirePro. Just look at some of the recent milestones. The Apple Mac Pro was launched late last year, and each of those tremendously innovative workstation platforms ships with dual FirePro graphics. In April, we launched the FirePro W9100, the only GPU with over 2 teraflops of double precision compute, and it's the only graphics card that has 16 gigabytes of memory. Both of those features are really great for high-end professional users that have large data sets, large models. That's really taken the market by storm. SpecView Perf 12 has become the industry standard benchmark for workstation graphics, and it really showcases AMD's leadership up and down the stack with FirePro. And OpenCL adoption. You see here, this is a who's who of professional software ISVs. They're all adopting OpenCL for GPU acceleration on FirePro, getting great results. The tremendous graphics now coupled with the GPU compute. That's really a great testimony to our performance. And we have a demo here with the V-Ray, which is a leading ray tracing application that you see after the event. But rather than me talk about it, let's hear from some of the partners themselves. Let's play a short video to show what the partners are seeing and the benefits they're getting out of FirePro.
So AMD have just announced this really wonderful FirePro W9100 graphics card.
This hardware, it's just making things happen for us. It's really cool, making everything really fast and fluid. You just when you play, you just want to go.
What I love about it is it speeds up my workflow. I can get more iterations of my design. I can get stuff done faster, and it's better.
I came here to NAB to check out all of the new gear. It's always pretty exciting every year, and I'm really impressed.
And let me tell you, these W9100s are really the bomb.
So the beauty of the marriage of AMD and Adobe is in the fact that they're accelerating so many of the features that I use every day as a producer, editor, graphics guy.
We love supporting AMD technology because AMD provides a lot of choices for our customers that really mirrors the philosophy that we have in the software.
The OpenCL support, it's here and it's working really well. We've got a great relationship with AMD.
4K, and 4K. It has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, which is very important for handling 4K workflow.
That means we've got some serious power going through the system.
The price performance comparison, let me tell you, you can't beat these GPUs.
That was great stuff. As you can see, we've got great momentum in the workstation graphics market. What I want to move on to now is, how can we take that FirePro goodness, that graphics performance, that compute power, and make it available for applications that run in the data center, whether that's high-performance computing, leveraging the parallel processing capability of the GPU, or what I call the visual cloud. That's customers that want to use the GPU deployed in the data center for remote workstation virtualization. The answer to that is we have the FirePro S series. This is a single product line optimized for the data center that can address GPU compute and the visual cloud. And I'm actually pleased to give you a preview of one of our new upcoming products, a new high-end product that we'll be launching in the coming weeks. This is the FirePro S9150. This uses the same Hawaii GPU that we had in the W9100, as the same technology as the W9100, but it's in a form factor optimized. You see it's a passively cooled card, doesn't have display outputs, really offers the maximum high-performance compute performance in a very power efficient envelope, and is perfect for large-scale deployments. So that's a very exciting product that's coming up shortly. But I'd also like to introduce a new member of the FirePro S-Series family, which is the S4000X module. This is at the other end of the scale, if you like. If I show you this one, it's a little bit smaller. This takes a mainstream GPU and is really ideal for customers that want a low-power deployment they want graphics available to users remotely, deployed in the data center, and bring all the benefits of FirePro and Graphics Core Next. I'm very pleased to announce that's going to be shipping in the HP ProLiant WS460C graphics server blade. This offers a great solution. It's a remote workstation for mainstream CAD users or for financial services users, for example, and offers all those benefits on for a remote user. Another innovative platform that will be shipping with the S4000X is in conjunction with a partner of ours called AMD. They've created a mezzanine module which integrates the S4000X and is deployed in the Dell Blade servers. So you can see great market coverage for this new product. Again, if I hold the two up side by side, you can see the tremendous scale that we're offering with FirePro S series. Everything from the low power deployments with great graphics performance up to the maximum performance solution for HPC. So that's really what we're looking forward to with the new coming products in FirePro S series. But at AMD, we're all about solutions. We have this FirePro product line, the FirePro S series, but we have complete solutions that meet the needs of key workloads. For computing, we're announcing the AMD Stream technology. These technologies are a combination of hardware, software, and integration with the ecosystem to meet the needs of those users. AMD Stream technology takes the huge compute power of the GPU and couples it with the OpenCL ecosystem to offer the great solution for HPC, along with the kind of products I showed you. The Visual Cloud takes the AMD GPU coupled with the virtualization hypervisor vendors, offering a solution for that market. Let's dive into Sky a little bit more. AMD Sky technology enables key use cases: a remote workstation, or a virtualized desktop, or individual applications. We also leverage Sky for cloud gaming in our Radiant Sky series. So whether it's commercial or gaming, AMD Sky technology really offers a great coverage of those key workloads. We have a robust feature set. We have the AMD Rapid Fire API, for example. This enables software vendors to fully leverage the AMD GPU in a cloud application. We have shared graphics support, and we work very closely with the key hypervisor partners to make that happen, to bring a complete solution to the end user. On that note, I'd like to bring on stage one of our key partners. This is from VMware, Mr. Barry Chen, who's the GM of Taiwan. Well, it's great you could join us at the press conference. Just want to ask you a couple of questions. Maybe you could just tell the audience about the partnership between VMware and AMD.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, we're so excited to join AMD Computex today. VMware and AMD have a very strong technology partnership for the past years, working together around compute and CPU. And about 2 years ago, we started to work with AMD on the end-user computing side of the business for the acceleration of graphics. And we see today that this partnership just showcase the results.
What kind of results you see?
So shipping today is the availability of the shared pass-through graphic acceleration, or what the industry calls VSGA, Virtual Shared Graphic Acceleration, with the market-leading VMware Horizon View 5.3 and the Horizon 6 using the 5.5.
Having that VSGA certification means that knowledge workers can get access to, if they need graphics acceleration in their deployment, they can get that through the 5.5.
Yeah.
And what's coming next?
I think both VMware and AMD will continue to evolve the 3D graphics capabilities. And I think both companies are committed to continue to improve the user experience.
All right, that's great.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, well, just to recap, you've heard about our partnership between AMD and VMware. You've heard about AMD Stream technology, AMD Sky technology, and you've seen some of the exciting new products we're bringing out in the 5.0 series. At this point, I'd like to invite Lisa Su to come back on stage.
Okay, so hopefully you got a view of all of our great products across our client mobile space, as well as our embedded space, as well as professional graphics space. I couldn't take this opportunity to be here at Computex, though, and not give you a view of the future for AMD. So I'd like to give you a little bit of a view of what we planned in 2015 and beyond. And it really is our vision for where computing is going into the future. And it is the ambidextrous computing vision. When you think about everything that we've talked about relative to where the consumers are going, where the data center is going, where embedded applications are going, we really have an opportunity to really harness the best of every ecosystem, whether it's hardware partners, software partners, or ecosystem partners. And when we think about it, there's two dominant architectures in the world. There's the x86 architecture, which is basically AMD's strength. You saw it in our APUs, you saw it in our embedded capability, and that's very, very core to our business. What you also see is the growth of ARM. ARM started from the mobile space, went really through the embedded space, now coming into the data center space as well. And AMD is the only company that has a vision to bring the best of the x86 and ARM ecosystems together. So when you look at what does that mean, this is a view of the market for the last 10 years and going forward for the next 5 to 7 years. And what you see is in the orange is the x86 market. This is revenue share of the semiconductor market. In the purple is ARM. And in the gray is all other architectures. All other architectures, proprietary, MIPS, PowerPC, so on and so forth. And the key point here is that between x86 and ARM, our opportunity, our market TAM, is over $80 billion and growing. This is a tremendous ecosystem, a very, very exciting ecosystem that we can bring together. And from an AMD standpoint, as we move forward into 2015, we are announcing the availability of a true design framework that we call Project Skybridge. I'm extremely proud of Project Skybridge. This has been something that we've been working on for the last 2 years. And it really is the idea of how can we bring x86 and ARM together as only AMD can do. We are starting first in the 20 nanometer generation. You will see these parts from us in 2015. They will be designed with full graphics core next support as well as full HSA, heterogeneous system architecture support. On the x86 side, they will have next generation Puma Plus cores. So we talked about Beema being announced this generation in 28 nanometer in 2014. You'll see us with x86 Puma Plus cores in 2015 in 20 nanometer. And we also have the ability with a pin-compatible technology so that in one chip, you'll have x86 plus graphics plus HSA. In the other chip, you will have low-power ARM A57 with HSA as well. And this is, again, an example of how we can bring these two ecosystems together. And as you think forward to the consumer applications, to the embedded applications, to the server applications, being able to use the best ecosystem for x86 or ARM is something that only we can do at AMD. And as you move forward, we also announced that AMD is now an ARM architectural licensee. So in 2014, this year, we launched our first server-based chip. We were the first server ARM 64-bit chip in the market sampling in 28 nanometer. In 2015, I talked to you about Project Skybridge, the first pin-compatible ARM and x86 products in the market. And then in 2016, we are developing a from-scratch core that we call AMD's K12. And it's very, very significant because we are bringing the performance and the capability of x86 architectural design to the 64-bit ARM space. And so you can see where our roadmap is going in the next couple of years. So let me just summarize and say, when you look at AMD going forward, you're going to see us in many different markets. You're going to see us with a variety of products in x86 and ARM across all of these markets, including ultra-low power client, including dense server, including embedded, and including semi-custom opportunities for very large customers. This is an ecosystem that only we can bring to the market. So with that, let me finish here and say, again, AMD loves Computex. This is an extremely important show for us. You saw that we brought to you our most important innovations here at Computex. You saw our new mobile PCs. We're extremely proud of all of the relationships we have with the key customers for Kaveri and Beema for our professional series line. You saw in Pro Graphics the scale that we have in the server space across both the very small form factor as well as the highest performance capabilities. You saw our broad set of embedded applications, and you saw what we are doing with our ARM announcements going forward. So this is a very, very rich set of technologies. We're very, very proud of these at AMD, and we're proud to share them with you today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Lisa. Please stay on the stage. We're going to have a photo opportunity on stage to wrap up today's event. So I'd like to again invite Colette and John, please join us on stage. And our speakers, would you all please come up to the stage? Ladies and gentlemen, please have your cameras ready. And to our on-stage top executives and our speakers, would you please all look from your left? Let's look from your left. Let's make sure every camera captures a good picture. All right, let's look back to the middle. Let's look to your center. All right, perfect. Okay, let's look to your right. What is so funny about it? All right. Okay, let's look back to the center again. We have our cameraman right in the middle. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, would you please all give your round of applause to all of our executives and speakers for an amazing press conference. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. please join the rest of the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it for the press conference today. Please don't miss the chance to experience AMD's latest technologies and our product, which is just on your right-hand side. It is on our demo setup. And also, please don't forget to visit our AMD booth on the L0818. This is the number of our booth, L0818 at the Nangang Exhibition Hall. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at Computex in Taiwan. I'll see you next year. Thank you all for joining us.